Are we good? Are we live? We're basically live inside the UFO factory for an episode of the Milo show. Thanks for tuning in. My name's Jeff. Nina and the Buffalo Riders are here to play a song called Gold Digger. You can see them in Petoskey over Labor Day weekend. Take it away.
You should hold your breath while I wait to breathe. We can take this step if you don't want to leave. go of my hand. I'm a runner, I don't stand.
We're gonna start our interview now, Adriel.
Cool.
Adriel Thornton is here on the Milo show. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
Here we are, September 1st. We're 10 days away from Dally in the Alley.
Right.
Adriel here is a key component when it comes to organizing and getting that festival off the ground and getting the word out about that festival.
Right.
I'm gonna call you a PR whiz.
Thank you.
But before we get into who you are and what you do, we should talk about what you do for Dally. We should talk about what Dally is, if no one has ever been or no one's ever heard of it. What is Dally? When is Dally? Why is Dally?
Right. Okay, cool. Yeah. Well, so Dally in the Alley is basically it's a black party on steroids, really. And it's one of the oldest events I know of that happens in Detroit.
Year 39, I think.
Yeah, this is 39. This is the 39th year. And so, 38 or years ago,
Right.
Dally was organized by just a group of concerned people in the Cass Corridor area who were really kind of protesting Wayne State's idea at the time was to tear down all of these beautiful historic homes to make way for another another building,
Sure.
Et cetera, which is great. You need that with the
Sure.
University or whatever,
But you lose the neighborhood.
exactly. And so their whole idea was, we need some sort of protest action to do it. So they organized themselves and literally,
Let's party.
yeah, let's party and
As
get people
protest.
together. Yeah.
Right.
And so, some people showed up with, some guitars and, some, drums, and a barbecue, and that was kind of that was the first sort of Dally in the Alley.
This is over right about Warren and Forest, nearabouts there.
Yeah. And so over time, it became sort of this, annual celebration. It moved from being a protest action to being a sort of celebration of the neighborhood and coming together of like-minded individuals. So yeah, that's the the history of Dally. Here we are today.
Right.
Fast forward 39 years.
39 years.
And
it never got co-opted by any corporate sponsoring.
yeah, no, we actually don't do any corporate sponsorships, and we feel like we owe it to the people who organized Dally before,
Right.
to sort of have the same mindset.
It's an heirloom.
Yeah, and so we've never allowed ourselves to have corporate sponsorship come in, and that's not because we hate corporations or anything like that.
Right.
But the flavor and the vibe of Dally has always been this is very grassroots. It's a low barrier to entry if you want to help Dally. You just show up at meetings.
Right.
So it's and it's very neighborhoody. So the whole idea is that wait, we can do this without having a big corporation come in and subsidize us.
Yeah.
So
No Budweiser banners or anything.
Right. Yeah, in fact, everything that we do, pretty much everything that touches Dally is as local as we can get it.
Right.
Meaning that, our beer, for instance, is provided by Motor City Brewing. And that's really important because, again, it's the root of it is that it's a celebration of Cass Corridor.
Local culture.
We're
gonna have local bands.
Yep.
Local art vendors. We're gonna have local food providers. It's 12 plus hours. It starts at 11 a.m. on Saturday the 10th. Goes until
11
p.m. ish.
Right. Right.
And we're talking probably upwards to maybe 40 performers.
Yeah.
4 stages.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
All day, free. Show up, hang out.
Yep. And
mingle.
Last year, the the police department's estimate was that there were 50,000 plus people there. You know, so cramming them in the course of 12 hours is like, it's a huge amount of people for a one-day, you know, event that celebrates, you know, this area and the city. And I think that's a huge testament to, like, you know, to the event itself, but also to the meaning behind it.
Right on. We'll be right back. We're going to go to another band. Cut. LXL are here to do a song about my second favorite Hollywood actor of all time. You can see them on September 4th at Smalls. Take it away, guys.
Thanks, sir. Let's do this. Key flow. Yeah. Turn it up a little.
Yeah, I say anything, Cusack, no news, let's do that, cause that's good. Who's that? How you not know John Cusack? You whack.
You whack.
Said, how you not know John Cusack? You whack.
You can catch me at the grocery store, hosiery aisle, over my shoulder, smiles and chattering, trying to find the pads of wings, the right brand, the rice brand, brandishing the nicest price tag. Just make sure it's organic, gluten-free, and
Comes from Iceland.
More in common with Streisand and Seinfeld than most who rhyme well. More comfortable in delis and wine cellars and
Then
at
at
the
the
shelter.
shelter.
Eat, smell, and gefelter with Sarah Michelle Gellar's
Assistant.
All my relatives distant. Always felt like the misfit. Now I miss shit. Like eating biz quick and count chocolate love and having super high cholesterol. Since colostrum, my intelligence, the benefit of my genetics, but the cost of them is feeling I'll be accosted in a Holocaust every autumn. Official stories never bought them. Swimming in white water with Hillary Rodham. I Bill went with Sodom to Nolan Richardson's office. Watching Corliss Williamson jogging in hog heaven. Augment the dog head trip with nuggets and chocolate. Cogswell Cogs,
Gracely Balls.
Spacely Sprockets. With only change in our pockets, it only changes in pockets. Gentrification, pain in the coccyx. This cock Swain is intoxicated, headed straight for the rocks. Rocks is straight, it still blocks the concentration.
Yeah.
Constellation at the top of the concentration.
Shit.
Who can really say?
And I don't know who was saying. Yeah,
Who can really say?
I say anything. Cusack, no news, let's do that, cause that's good. Who's that? How you not know John Cusack? You whack.
You whack. Say, how you not know
Yeah.
John Cusack? You whack.
Or really Kurt Cobain, who did it for the Courtney Love. So it's fuck, so he's flooring drugs out the front door of clubs, of which we might see a portion of large, extra large, cause I'm sorta chef.
Sorta what?
I'm giving y'all raised hands more to touch. Somebody's in the kitchen with the Dinosaur. Order up. I'm trying to break down these borders before I shuffle off this mortal clutch. Wifey supports, I guess she don't think we pour enough. Warren ordered foreign rum imported for us for a clutch. We don't use a fourth of the fortune that's afforded us. At least we know that.
Growth rap.
Focus on the whole map. Global view like I was a part of that Apollo program. Crook, not Milo throwback. Got carpal tunnel. All hands. You never watch your rap. That's your bad. I told your ass I want to hold hands.
Whatever.
Slow dancer.
Or something.
Hold hands while I smartphone low maps like we don't know they low jacks. Oh snap, broken envelope drop like billboards. Fuck, I'm open now. Rum exposing no skin. Gross point blank said going over ocean.
I say anything. Cusack. No news, let's do that, cause that's good.
Who's that?
How you not know John Cusack? You whack. You whack. Say, how you not know John Cusack?
Yeah.
You whack.
I said anything. Cusack. No news, let's do that, cause that's good. Who's that? How you not know John Cusack? You whack.
You whack. As a matter of fact, you're kinda whack. Watch your head there.
Fresh.
I want to talk about the team of people behind this, because when I go to big festivals,
it's this large scale, big noisy thing, and there's Budweiser sponsors and all this, and I'm like, oh, this looks like it's really a big deal and stressful to put on. But when I go to Dali, there's always a laid back vibe.
Right.
You guys always kind of make it look easy. I'm not imagining it's easy. Can you talk about everyone who we're not seeing who kind of helps put on that event and how integral they are too, the volunteers?
Yeah, there's so first and foremost, we're all volunteers.
Right.
So every single person that works on Dali, I mean, other than production side, like the staging and all that kind of stuff, we have to pay for that. But as far as the organizers, we're all volunteers. Most of the people who are part of the Dali committee either currently live in that area or used to live in that area. You know, so they have a vested interest in making this thing happen.
Right.
So there's about 10 to 12 like core people who really volunteer their time and energy to put.
And thank them.
Yeah,
thank you.
no.
Seriously.
I mean, everyone from like Matt Clipper, who's our logistics director, to Tyler, who is he handles all the vendors, the non-food vendors. Janelle, who handles the food vendors.
Right.
You know, Candy, who does the kids area. Robbie Dwight, who does he's on the music committee.
Yeah.
All these people, and there's so many more.
Right.
You know, so many more. Are really, really, really. I mean, they do the exact same thing I do, which
Right.
is they volunteer their time and energy and their skills
Right.
to actually producing Dali. And I will say that, like, so we do kind of have it easy. Dali has gone on for 39 years, so.
And it's always been like kind of without a hitch. Knock on wood.
No, there have been some like
There have been some
we
hitches.
had fire a couple of years ago.
Oh, I know, I remember that.
Right, and things like that. There have been some hitches, but the thing is that like it's been going on for so long that it's almost plug and play at this point.
I mean, but goodwill between the attendees, good vibes. Good,
Yeah. I mean,
Just-
and I think that's one of the things is that like, so if we for some reason couldn't organize it this year, right, and something drastic happened, rest assured that on that Saturday after Labor Day, a bunch of people are going to show up in that alley
Right.
and show up in that area. And if there are no stages, if there are no booked bands, there's still going to be people are going to bring out like people
Right.
are going to just create it and form
Right.
it themselves. So we kind of have it easy in that sense, in that like the force of Dali is sort of bigger than all of us. But with that being said, we also can't underappreciate the people who actually are spending their time and energy. Andy Durkis, for instance, and Evan, who run the art component of Dali. They really spend a lot of time and thought and energy into creating the right sort of mix of artists and figuring out where these installations are going to go and organizing like, okay, we're going to do a big mural over here, but then we're going to do these big banners over there. Like,
Right.
So many people are really, again, putting their all into it. And that's really difficult to find in a lot of events, whether they're big festivals or not, where people are actually getting, like, paid a lot of money to do it. I think the investment is just that. Like,
Right.
the check they're getting versus the actual real hardcore love that they have for actually seeing the event happen.
Right.
And that's a critical difference.
Right.
And it's very democratic. Like, it's if so and so doesn't do what they're supposed to do, then we all sort of there's a missing link.
Right.
And then we all try to like lift it up.
Right.
And lift them up in order to do it. So there's no hierarchy, and there's no somebody is more important than the other. That's just not how it works.
I don't want to sound cheesy, but there's a lot of potential in just bringing people together,
Yeah.
which is what strikes me kind of about what you also do with Fresh Core. Maybe you could talk about that too.
Yeah. Well.
The other things that you're into.
Yes. So Fresh Crew, which is the more party side of Fresh Media Group. It's got its roots, like I do, in electronic music in Detroit. But the whole idea of like, I think being an event producer and like forming Fresh Core was to not only to like progress the music, but the understanding the value in getting people together, number one, but then two, getting people together to celebrate music or to be a part of music. Like I really do think that as a whole, culture doesn't necessarily understand the unifying factor of music. You could be into a band whatever, and it doesn't kind of matter who hears that band. They either like it or they don't.
Sure.
But it's not like there's a color attached to it, or that there's any other socioeconomic factors attached to it. For me, producing like these dance parties or producing these big events is truly one of the ways that I feel like we can actually live Dr. King's dream.
Right on.
You know, and not to get super political,
Sure.
but you know, music is truly like the universal language of the world, and actually dance is too.
Right.
Like, so, you know, you combine those two,
Right.
and I think you really have the opportunity to really have some really beautiful things happen. You know, so that's kind of why I do what I do, and that's why Freshcore does what it does.
And that's what we can get at Dally this year.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for being on my show.
Thank you for having me.
Dally in the Alley, coming soon. All right, closing out tonight's Milo show, the Prude Boys are here to play a song. You can see them in a couple days at the Hamtramck Labor Day Festival. And later on in the autumn, the song they're playing, The Outlaw, is going to be on Cast Records. Stay tuned. Take it away, guys.
Milo Show, episode number 11.
Yeah, dog. I'm ready, dog. Almost quit time.